Hey, welcome back. I'm Chris, and today we're going to take a look at this pretty inexpensive stabilizer. Let's do this real quick. Now, really just to start this off, whether you're looking at this specific stabilizer or not, I'm just going to go ahead and reset everything. We're going to go over how you, well, get it stabilized to begin with, because most of these more inexpensive, budget-friendly stabilizers are pretty much the same. I mean, they're going to be more compact, they're going to be more made for just a mirrorless camera or a DSLR that doesn't have a lot going on with it. And usually when I use this thing, I don't have a microphone on here because I'm shooting B-roll, and I can shoot audio for my B-roll separately with an audio recorder. So the first thing I want to do is obviously throw the camera on here, and then I'm just going to do straight up from the table. Just pick it straight up and see if it's going left, right, forward, or back, and then start making, well, the little adjustments here. So obviously it's going to the right, so I'm just going to shift the camera to the left, and it's going pretty fast and it's going quite a bit, so I'm going to move the camera a fair amount. That looks pretty good there. Now, just putting the camera on here, I pretty much got it dead on, so I'm going to throw it out of alignment so you can see how it's leaning backwards. And we're going to put forwards just a little bit. So once you pick it up and it's pretty straight, that's pretty much where you want to go, and test it again. And this is where you can test it front to back, side to side, see how it moves. And the other thing you want to do is the drop test. Now you want to have about 2 to 2.5 seconds drop test, and you don't want it going this way. Unless you're setting it up like this and you're gonna do your low shots, which you can very well do. There's no reason why you can't do that. But we're gonna go ahead and adjust the length of this. You could either adjust the length or add more or take away some of the weights. The weights I have pretty much set, and I just adjust the length for what I want to do. And you go ahead and do the drop test again. So we're gonna go from horizontal, and it's gonna drop to vertical, and we wanna count. I obviously didn't count there, so I gotta count in my head real quick. Now I tend to count a little bit fast, so when I'm editing, I'll throw the actual time up there. That seems to be pretty good, pretty much right where I want it. And my best suggestion is, depending on what lens you're using and what camera you're using and how you're gonna use it. If you're gonna use it with the screen open and at a certain angle, you need to adjust for that. Well, that's just pretty dead on. Because you wanna use it the way you're gonna you wanna balance it rather, for the way that you're gonna use it. I usually just have the screen closed and operate it like this, because it's usually at chest height. Now, if I'm doing something different, you're gonna have to rebalance just a little bit. And my best suggestion is make marks on everything. So you have index marks already made, so you can quickly adjust it and get it to where you need, so you're not fiddling around too much on how to get this thing going. But just the same, if you have a different lens on here, or even different focal length if you have a zoom lens, you wanna make note of that, because it is gonna throw the weight off a little bit, and just have those index marks. So if you throw a different lens on here, you can easily adjust everything, and you're gonna be well on your way to get going. I mean, it didn't take long to set this up, so. Now I've used this for quite a bit, for, I don't know, almost a year now, I would say. Pretty close, and there's lots of really good videos on how to use this thing, and everybody has a different opinion on how to hold the handle. One thing to be aware though, with this handle, the rubber piece, the foam piece, it hasn't slipped off of me yet, but it's not glued on there, so you might wanna throw some glue in there just to, well, keep it where it should stay. But I like to hold it like this, and really I'm just pinching with these 2 fingers, and my other 3 fingers are just resting on there, and that's how you move it around. Not that you're really guiding it, but all you're really doing with this is keeping, you're panning. You're panning with these 2 fingers, or you're slightly tilting. So this hand is gonna help track your subject or whatever you're filming, you know, depending on how you're moving. And this hand is gonna be your steady hand. So your more dominant hand, I would say, should be your stronger hand. And that's the one you're gonna use, and that's the one that's gonna tire out a little bit more. And I'm a pretty shaky person, so for me to get any steady shots with this thing is amazing to me, and that's the reason why I bought it. And considering that this is more, well, it's entry-level, budget-friendly, and all that, but it's a lot cheaper than buying a stabilizer for a DSLR, put it that way. So I've been very happy with this thing, and we'll throw some shots up there now. Let's cut to a little bit of B-roll that I took during the winter of, well, some of the Steadicam footage. like I said, for me to get steady shots, I can't walk right to begin with just because my foot doesn't work and I can't walk gentle. So there is a certain way you're supposed to walk and carry yourself so that everything, you're stable to begin with. The more stable you can be, the more stable this is gonna be. And there's a way you carry yourself. I'll try to link the videos in the description of someone that's a lot more qualified than me to try to teach you how to use this thing. It's the beauty of YouTube, you know what I mean? This also does come with a nice bag that everything fits into. And it's a Steadicam. It's an inexpensive Steadicam. There's really not much more to it. They're all pretty much the same. I'm happy with this one. So I think I've done enough rambling for today, so I'll see you on the next one. I would, subscribe and such if you want to keep up to date on any of the products I've bought recently and, well, my honest opinion about them, because you know what, that's more important. I use this stuff and I'm gonna give an honest opinion on budget-friendly stuff because I'm not made of money and I need to buy stuff that works. And you know what, you'll see in the other videos, a lot of the winter videos I use the Steadicam a lot to get some nice B-roll. But I'm rambling too much again, so I'll see you on the next one.